Good day, I am Sharms Espina, and this is PTV News Now. The Department of Foreign Affairs assured the 17 Filipino seafarers held hostage by the Houthi rebels will be released soon. DFA spokesperson Maria Teresita Daza said efforts are ongoing for their eventual release. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., on the other hand, said he will be convening a meeting to facilitate the dispatch of a high-level delegation to Tehran, Iran. This aims to provide necessary assistance to the Filipino seafarers. This is also the reason why the president canceled his trip to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, for the COP28. Palestinians cheer as more hostages were released by Hamas militants on the 60 days of the truce between the warring parties. Negotiators work to extend the pause in fighting and free even more hostages in exchange for Palestinians held in Israeli jails. With the ceasefire set to formally end Thursday morning, top officials from Qatar, the United States, Egypt, and Israel were meeting in Qatar to discuss how and for how long to extend the halt in fighting to allow further swaps of hostages and prisoners. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in the Holy Land earlier today to urge Israel for another truce extension. He said an extended truce means more hostages will be coming home and more humanitarian assistance will be getting in to help displaced Palestinians in Gaza. And former First Lady Rosalynn Carter was laid to rest in Plains, Georgia, where she and her husband, former President Jimmy Carter, lived most of their lives. VOA's Kane Faribaugh has the report.
With only close friends and family invited to attend funeral services at Maranatha Baptist Church, well-wishers from around the country lined the streets of Plains, Georgia, to honor former First Lady Rosalynn Carter.
I just wanted to make sure I was here to pay my respects to Rosalynn after all she has done for this country and for the world.
Suzanne Taylor traveled more than 1,100 kilometers from Buffalo, New York, to attend the Atlanta tribute services earlier in the week. And now, Mrs. Carter's final journey through Plains.
Having been in Plains on many visits, it was very heartbreaking for me to see everybody walking Rosalynn and Jimmy down the road, knowing it was Rosalynn's last trip home.
In a moment that paid tribute to the Carters' historic walk down Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. during the inauguration parade in January 1977, the family escorted former President Jimmy Carter's vehicle on foot, walking behind Mrs. Carter's hearse.
It was such a joy to see the family walk behind her.
13-year-old Reed Elliott arrived from Kentucky to say goodbye to the former First Lady, who he met and spent time with 5 years ago. He says Plains has lost a woman who, to the people who live here, was more than a global humanitarian.
They've lost an icon, and they've lost a neighbor.
Plains has lost an icon today. It's really a sad day. But on the other hand, Rosalynn will always be alive in Plains. Her kindness and goodness will last forever. Love lasts forever.
Philip Curlin runs the Plains Trading Post and says he'll miss his frequent visits with Mrs. Carter in his store.
I feel like she's passed the torch now, and we all are going to have to be kinder, better people and start doing good deeds.
Rosalynn Carter's final resting place will be next to the pond in front of her home, at the edge of the town where she was born nearly a century ago. Kane Faribaugh, VOA News, Plains, Georgia.
And this has been Sharms Espina. Stay informed, be aware. Get ahead and get the news right here.